Okay. Alright, what's up, guys? Today we are gonna be, well, I say we like it's more than one people. My heater's on, it did rain a lot, it is cold, so if you hear a little humming noise, that's the heater. It is what it is. But today I'm just gonna be chilling with y'all. Nothing crazy. We're just gonna be talking about mash shit, because why not? Because why the frig not? I'm trying to find my water that I'm gonna paint with. Hold on. So I have water in here. I was supposed to. It rained a lot. And I was supposed to use the rainwater to because I'm gonna be using the rainwater for what, like random stuff like gardening and stuff. So but I forgot to set my freaking buckets up. So I'm gonna do that tonight because I think it's gonna rain tomorrow. But back to what I was saying though. So I'm just gonna chit chat with y'all, like nothing crazy. Like it is what it is. I'm just gonna talk. I'm just gonna make some art because it's been a minute since I really like sat down and painted and like really like just had some time to myself, and I figured like this would be the best time to like do a little video. My landlord's supposed to be coming soon. I don't know if he's gonna be coming. I texted him because I was supposed to pay him today and I forgot to give him the money, so hopefully when he comes he'll come before or like when I decide to stop recording, or he'll probably call and then the video will stop. So yeah. But the main thing I think I want to start off with is why I deleted dating apps. And I want to like kind of like, and this is going to be more like an art focused video, so like I'm not going to be looking directly in the camera or nothing like that. Sorry y'all, it is what it is. But I wanted to really talk about like why I deleted the dating apps, because I actually, a plane is flying over my head right now. Okay, there we go. So like, I deleted Tinder, I deleted Hinge, and I just didn't feel like they were going anywhere for me. I met somebody on Tinder and we did date for 4 months. Unfortunately, like, nothing came out of it, and the feelings weren't mutual. Like, he really liked me, but it just wasn't the same on my end, and I kind of felt like really bad at the same time. Like, I'm not even, I felt, it's like it kind of was just like killing me inside, because after a while, like like you have like the initial liking of somebody and you're like, okay, maybe this person's cool, and then once you start to get to know them, you kind of like drift apart, if that makes sense, or like you drift away from them because you don't feel like that's your person, or that person could be your person, because I don't feel like there's one and only there's one and only person for you. Like, there's plenty of people that are compatible with you. You just have to find them. But I just felt like we weren't really compatible. And after like 3-4 months of dating, I decided that I didn't want to pursue it anymore. And of course, they were like really upset and sad, and rightfully so, because it was kind of a lot that we were talking, and it just kind of sucks that, and I think for me, like, I don't like to drag things on, but I was trying to like find a reason to stay. And not to say like they were a horrible person. This isn't like the the horrible date video where I talked about that guy and he was complete trash. Um, but this guy was actually very nice. He was really caring, really loving, and I like. And it wasn't even the fact that he like liked me like really hard. Like he was very like, he was really into me, and I like that. But at the same time, it sucked because the feelings weren't mutual, and I just felt like, yo, like this isn't. I'm wasting this boy's time. Like this is like not. This isn't good. Like I don't want to keep doing it and keep meeting up and keep hanging out, and and I'm just like not feeling it, and I'm not, my heart's telling me like, no, like this isn't working. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even like infatuation or anything like that. It's just like that genuine feel like, damn, yo, I'm not into you like that as I thought I was, and it just kind of it just sucks. Basically, it just fucking sucks. But I had to end it, and I think it went on as long as it did because I had a coworker that it was kind of like a similar situation. I think I had more of a crush on him. This is when I was working in the Bronx. And I had a crush on him, and I didn't really like him like that, but what I'm saying, I had a little baby crush, and I was like, but I thought he was too old. I thought he was too that, like, so I really never really paid him a lot of attention. I was like, whatever, he's over there, I'm over here. And then one time he asked me out, y'all, like, and this is the only person that I can test. He's a grown man. He's like 13 years older than me. So at the time I was like 22, I believe, 22, 21. Yeah, like 22. I want to say like 22. And he was probably about like 37 at the time. And that was like one of my like, I don't like dating pet peeves. Is I don't like to date older guys. Well, men that I think that are significantly older than me. I try not to. I try not to. Like I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm trying not to. Because it's like I feel like, because I think my fear is I feel like I would really like somebody or the person if they're older than me, and then as the years go by, I just feel like, damn, like my youth is kind of gets sucked away with this. I just feel like the age difference would just cause too much like obvious things, like let's say like if a guy's like 20 years older than me and I decide to get with him, and let's say I'm 26 now and he's 46, so imagine me being 46 later and he's 66 and he has all these health problems, and not to say like at 66 or you would have all these problems, but stuff like that do happen and occur, and I don't want to be like 46 still, a little bit with my youth and shit like that, and I'm just like, damn, like it kind of felt like your youth got sucked away, if that makes sense. I don't know if I convey that properly, but that's kind of how I just visualize that kind of thing and think about it. So I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying like years down the road, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to be with like an old man, and I'm like, damn, I'm not old yet, like, and you're there. But some people might have opposing opinions to that, so y'all can let me know. That's kind of how I feel about that kind of situation. So I just thought, it would be like that if I continued to see him, and if I kept hanging out, something would be different. Something would change eventually. Maybe he'll grow on me or whatever the case may be. I had all these thoughts, but it just wasn't. I wasn't feeling anything like I thought I would have, and I just decided to just end it. I was like, fuck it, because I don't want to keep wasting your time, and I don't, what I'm saying? I don't want to lead anybody on. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to trap you and have you feel trapped, and I'm feeling trapped, and all this stuff is it's just not a cool situation to be in. really not. But yeah, that was that. And I think another thing I really wanted to touch upon, I have so many things to talk about, guys, but one thing I really wanted to talk about was, I was watching this video about like open relationships, and then I really had to get into like the relationship aspects, especially of like gay guys, because I think we are, I don't know if I'm gonna use this word right, but I want to say an anomaly, but I'm probably using the word wrong, like y'all. So if I use it wrong, I'm sorry, but I just think like we're such a unique case of people, because we just define so many stereotypes of an average person. We don't fit in directly in the same box as anybody else. You know, we have so many unique things about us. And I think our relationship aspect is just one of them. Like a lot of, you know, I see a lot of, you know, like I think I was on Grindr the other day, and I'm scrolling through and I'm like, damn, yo, like a lot of these guys, like y'all are in open relationships or y'all married, all this shit. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, that's not for me, but it was just so many times I'm seeing it on like different profiles, like in an open relationship, partnered or whatever. There's always some shit indicating that you're with somebody else, and I'm just like, wow, that's interesting, because it's always been a thing, but I've just never really looked into too deep into it, because I think there's like an aspect of, you know, well, I think men are more greedy. I'm not gonna hold you, like I think guys are way more greedy, you know, and I think and I think I can say this with like, I don't know, with like straight guys, where they be like, oh, women want the whole world and they want a man with X, Y, and Z. But I think men are kind of the ones that want like the whole world, if you really think about it. And I'm just like looking at this like, damn, because, you know, like in a sense, this is a man's world. So it's like, you know, and like looking at it from like a gay's perspective in like America, like a very privileged country, especially to be gay. You know, don't come for me, y'all. I'm just saying, I'm not from here, so I know that there's certain privileges that a lot of gay dudes have here that they may not have in other countries. And I can really say, like, a lot of these guys want their cake and eat it too, and you know, and more power to them for that. But it's kind of crazy how it's just like, is that all? Sometimes it feels like there's nobody really out there, or I don't say nobody, it feels like sometimes, based off on things that you see, that a lot of these dudes, they don't really want like substantial things. They just, you know, or maybe they do, but they want it like from like different categories, or like, you know what I'm saying, like they're not satisfied with just one thing, and it looks crazy to me. And I'm like, damn, yo, like, is it just me that's seeing this thing? Because I saw somebody else's profile on Grindr, and they were like, is this for married people or single people? Like, what's going on? Because it's like so many people with open relationships on their profile, and I'm just like, damn, like, is it really though? Like, and I just kept thinking, like, what if like I meet somebody and then down the road I'm like, okay, maybe I want to be in a relationship with you, but I still want to like have sex with other dudes and all this stuff, and like, you know, you're not enough for me, and because that's kind of what it's giving. You're not enough. It's giving, I need more and more and more, and it's giving not being satisfied. And I'm not here to comfort anybody. Like, if you want to be in relationships like that, that's fine. But I can still feel how I feel, because at the end of the day, like, I don't really fantasize about being with multiple people. To me, that's just not how I look at shit. I think it's kind of weird in my sense of like what I think a relationship would be to me. I just feel like it's weird. I feel like if you want to be with more than one person, you should be single. But that's just my opinion. I'm not, you know, there's other cultures and people that are polyamorous and things like that. That's fine. whatever works for you. I'm just saying for me, like, y'all, I just can't do it, and I just wouldn't want to do it. I just want to be like with one person and one person only. So that's another thing. So, you know, I had to give my little opinion of that. But if that's what works for you or anybody that's watching this video, you know what I'm saying, I don't want you to feel shame not to pursue it. If you feel like you could do, you know, have your husband and then have your, you know, your other friendly buddies that you have to have sex with, and have, you know, maybe you and your husband can tag team, whatever works for you. At the end of the day, free country, free life. Do what you got to do to make yourself happy. But then I'm wondering, are these people happy? Are they? Because that's also a thought in the back of my head. Like, are y'all happy? Are you good? Just genuinely asking. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't want to assume. But that's just, you know, my little 2 cents on that. You know, and at the end of the day, I don't want to be like judging anybody, because people can do what they want to do, and I don't want to be gatekeeping anybody relationship. I don't want people to feel demonized, but also I do want to say, if you are, this is why, you know, I want to get judgy, and it's not like a hardcore judging thing. I think if you're interested in these types of things and you feel like you're not really a monogamous person, or you like polyamory better, things like that, you need to advertise that as such. I don't want to date somebody and figure out like a few years down the line, like, oh yeah, I'm into like being polygamous and shit like that. Like, are you? And I'm like, no, like, you should have told me that from the jump. Like, 'cause I'm not into that. And if I had known, I don't think I would want to like continue talking to you, like, or like be in a romantic relationship with you, because at the end of the day, if I can't give you what you want overall, why would you want to be with somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of guys do that, and I don't think that's a fair thing. Because if somebody ends up, you know, catching feelings and they're deep in love, and, you know, you build something together, that's going to hurt the person. So why do that? Why be selfish? Versus, you know, let me be completely transparent with what I want and honest, and find somebody that's on the same page as me. You know, you'll never have problems down the line like that, because at the end of the day, both of y'all was on the same page. And then there's also the factor of, you know, sometimes we say things to please people because we don't want them to leave, or we don't want to be lonely. Y'all, this has been the loneliest. This has been the loneliest year I've ever had, in terms of like talking to guys, you know, meeting guys, X, Y, and Z. Like, I've really like kind of kept it low key this year, and also last year, from, I want to say from like September, since like the summer, I've really been just being low key and really been keeping to myself, because, and this is where I'm going to get into my other topic, hookup culture, because I feel like being in the hookup culture is draining. Oh my god, as somebody that's been participating in it for years, you know, I've had some good moments. I had some really good moments. I've met a lot of really cool dudes, and, you know, some of those, you know, sexcapades, I cannot say I regret them. I regret a lot of them, but there were some I was like, yo, that was it. But over the years, and just over time, I just kind of grew out of it, and I just kind of phased out a little by little. Like, I still have Grindr on my phone. I have Grindr on my phone for months, and I don't think I've met anybody in like the last few months. No, I'm lying. I met one person. One or two. Yeah, I think I met like one or two guys. But and even then, I didn't even have like sex with them or anything like that. I don't think I did. Yeah. And if I had sex with somebody, it was somebody that I already knew that I met like years prior. So like, I just kind of like phased out of like the hookup culture a little bit, because it's just like these apps are killing me finding substantial things is hard. Like when I met the guy that I was talking to, telling you guys earlier about on Tinder, I was so happy that, you know, that somebody was like reached out to me and wanted to meet up and hang out, and you know, even now I can say like I've made a genuine friend from that. Granted, it didn't work out romantically, but I did make a genuine friend, and I'm happy that that's something like that came out of it, because I feel like a lot of these times you go into like these hookup situations and you feel used at the end. Oh my god, especially if you're like bottoming. Oh my god, like y'all, these dudes, they be telling you all this shit like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you the best dick in the world and all this shit and da 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 da, and hype their shit up. And I'm just like, and then after you're done having sex, it's just like, well, that wasn't really eventful. That was okay. Hey, y'all, oof, we about to get into this. Like, this is why, like, I get upset with hookup culture, and I think I don't want to say it's more of a generational thing, but it's more prevalent in this generation because we have so much access to so much stuff. Like, we have our phones, we have this technology, we have so much access, and I think it kind of desensitizes us to a lot of things, and that's why like a lot of men of this generation, and you know, maybe like millennials and Gen Zs, they have more of a dating problem and issues with finding real romance and things like that, because we are desensitized to so many things. There's, you know, you don't work as hard to meet people. You don't have to go out as much. You could scroll through your phone and talk to people on Instagram and Facebook and all that, and you don't even have to like leave your house. You know, back in the day, people had to leave their house. They had to go out. They had to go to the clubs. They had to find different activities, go to events and meet people. Versus now, like, people still do that, but now it's so much more convenient. It kind of makes people lazy. So then when you put in the minimal effort and then you're wondering, damn, like, why does nobody want to talk to me? Like, especially like with straight guys, like, oh, why aren't females talking to me, or X, Y, Z? I think a lot of us don't want to put ourselves out there, you know, versus back in the day, like, dudes had to go out and really like hustle. Yo, like, I want to find a girl, I want to go to a club, I want to meet somebody. Like, they go out there and their game, like, dudes back in the day, games were different. I'm pretty sure they faced the same amount of rejection, but guess what? They were continuing because that's the option they had. They were like, well, I still want to talk to girls, I still want to talk to dudes or whatever, who I want to talk to. I got to go out there and put myself out there, because that's what they had. And now that we have all these online apps and all this stuff, Tinder, all this stuff, it kind of just makes it's like swipe. It's like you don't earn anything by doing that. There's no gain in just swiping. You know what I'm saying? And then there's also the factor of just like having too many options, or too many potentials of options available. Oh, well, this person's talking to me, and this person might not be as interesting as this person, X, Y, Z. And then you never give the initial person you're trying to talk to a chance. And then the cycle continues to the next person, because you keep thinking, okay, like, maybe this person, something's wrong with this person, or they did something weird, I didn't like that. And you pick people apart, and it's just like, damn, you never really. And then at the craziest thing, 99% of the time, you never meet these people, because you're too busy trying to find this perfect person. Yo, y'all, this shit is crazy. We're living in weird times. We are. And I want to say, like, we kind of we participate in our demise in that kind of sense. We do, like, we really do, like, and it's a lot of times, you know, especially when I hear men complaining about, like, oh, girls on Tinder and things like that. I was like, y'all, if you go outside and you put on your big boy pants and you decide to talk to people and talk to females outside of these apps, you might get a different reaction. But I think a lot of us are too afraid of rejection, and I'm gonna say that myself. I am too. I hate being rejected, and I think especially because I'm gay, I feel like when I go out and I meet somebody or see a guy, and I'm like, oh, he's cute, he's nice, and maybe I like him at X, Y, and Z, but then there's a factor of like, well, I don't know if this guy's gay, I don't know if he's into me, you know, I don't know if he's my type. I don't know if he wants to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I don't like, you don't. There's a lot of factors I have to think about versus like, you know, like y'all straight people. I'm gonna say y'all have it easy. Y'all have it easy. It's for the most part. You could assume most people are straight. So you go up to a girl like, hey, what's up? You cute? Let me talk to you. If she said, nah, I'm good. That's it. Versus like, let's say if I do walk up to a guy like, hey, like, yo, you're cute. I like you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should talk. Then, you know, I could be met with any kind of reaction. I'm not a faggot. Why the fuck are you talking to me? Oh, you're weird. I don't fucking like you. There's like so many, like, like, y'all. There's just so many reactions you could get that's not positive. Especially for a lot of gay guys. So it's like, so I see why a lot of gay dudes depend on the apps to talk to people, but at the same time, it's like, we're kind of just setting ourselves up for failure, in my opinion. But y'all straight dudes, I don't know if any straight guys gonna watch this because I'm putting, you know, like gay topics in my videos, but I'm just talking about everybody at this point. But, you know, a lot of y'all straight guys that are complaining, and I want to make a video on like the male podcasters, because this is a whole phenomenon, guys, that I just don't understand what's really happening. Like, there's just so much people. I see a lot of people complaining, but a lot of people don't want to take action. It's like women want men that makes over $100,000. Most women. I'm like, what? Where are you getting these statistics from? Mind you, a lot of times they'll say stuff and they don't link it, and I wonder why. You know, a lot of these Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit and all that shit and all that jazz. You know, women should be like this. Men and women are different and all this stuff. And I'm like, duh, of course men and women are different. But how different are they? Like, we're all fucking humans, bro. We all gotta eat. We all gotta sleep. We all gotta shit. We all gotta breathe. We're just on this planet to survive. We're not really. We're just surviving. You know what I'm saying? That's all that life is, really. Just surviving. We don't know when the next big bang is gonna come and just, you know, wipe us the fuck out. We really don't. And I think a lot of times people want to blame other people for their shortcomings, and it's like you can't take everything out on you know, just because a girl don't like you. Like, come on, man, come on. Or if a girl say, sorry, I'm not interested, you know, that's life. That doesn't mean stop and give up. You know what I'm saying? Work on yourself. You know, work on your progress. Work on your goals. Because that's attractive. When people work on themselves, that's attractive. Men and women. I hate when people just straight up complain and they're not doing anything about it. I'm sorry, like, I'm gonna zone you out. I'm gonna zone you out real quick if you're a complainer. Like, I don't like people that just straight up complain. Oh, this is like this. My situation is like this. Yeah, that's cool. But 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, a year from now, 5 years, I don't want to hear the same problems. I really don't. Because at the end of the day, you need to be solving them. You need to be finding solutions. So, you know, that's just how I feel about that. And you know, I just think, I think a lot of times when we have problems and don't know how to solve it, we just get mad and frustrated. Instead of, you know, saying, hey, let me like work harder to figure this out. And X, Y, and Z versus just, alright, fuck it, I'm gonna blame the world. And blame whoever is in my vicinity. You know, oh well, it's your fault. This is your fault. You're the reason why you don't like me and all this shit. And that's another thing. Like I find weird. People care too much about who likes them. people care way too much. If somebody doesn't like you, yo, guess what? It's not the end of the world. If someone don't like you, it's cool. There's 8 gazillion people out here. 8 whole gazillion. So you know what that means? Somebody in that 8 gazillion will like you. Somebody in that 8 gazillion will be your friend. Somebody in that 8 gazillion would be a really good life partner, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's way too many people in this damn world to really be fucking. Ooh, I just like spilled paint. There's way too many fucking people for y'all to be really complaining. And I think especially like with these podcasters and y'all, my little brother, right? He's 18. And he's kind of at that age where like he doesn't want to listen to anybody. He thinks he knows everything, and at the end of the day, like, I can't force anybody to understand my viewpoints. I really can't. But he was watching like Fresh and Fit and all this shit. I'm just like, I wonder what kind of information he's taking from these types of videos. Because they say they make like, finance videos and stuff like that, and, help men be more financially dependent and stuff like that, yada yada. Right? So I'm just like wondering, like, because I'm watching him sometimes and I'm hearing the content he's watching. And he's not gay or anything like that. And I'm like, low-key, I'm so grateful that he's not, because I just don't want him to have the same life I have. Because I feel like I live a lot of times with a lot of doubt and anxiety and stuff like that I just don't want anybody in my family to really go through. Because I just know it sucks to go through it. So I'm just like, I'm glad he's not. But then I have to worry about, like, what kind of man is he gonna be? Because like, sometimes it's hard to talk to him. And when it's your family, you're trying your best to make sure that they're gonna be good and okay, and they're gonna, walk in this outside world, with their held head high and with good moral and values and things like that. And I'm just like, what kind of values is he taking from, stuff like Fresh and Fit? And I'm not trying to like demonize these dudes as bad people, because like I said, this is a whole rant video. We're just talking. I'm painting. We're just talking. We're talking. This is a therapeutic moment. So I'm just like wondering, what kind of values is he taking from this? And I'm curious. I just want to know. Because things like your girl shouldn't have an Instagram, or that's considered cheating or whatever, and I think it was more specific to like if she had like revealing if she had revealing pictures on Instagram, then that's considered cheating, because then she's getting attention from other men. Blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. And I'm just like, I don't want anybody I know to really be like that, because that's, first of all, I think it kind of stems from insecurity, in my opinion, and that's just my opinion. I'm not stating it as a fact, because everybody's gonna have a different, viewpoint in this stuff. But I feel like it stems from a lot of insecurity, and it also stems from just being controlling. And I don't think you should try to be in a relationship with a partner and you're trying to control them. Like, like if I have a boyfriend, I don't want to control him. And that's why, and I'm gonna circle this back to like when I had to end the relationship with a guy, because there was a lot of things that there's things I didn't like about him that, like there's always gonna be something that we don't like about our partners and things we wish they could do. But I had a thought, like, what if I told him not to do that? Or what if I was like, yo, like, what if you didn't do that? Or what if you did this instead? Or what if you didn't laugh like that, or weren't so loud, or whatever the case may be, whatever like you or I or me thought was wrong with the person, or thought they could maybe tone up or tone down. And I just thought to myself, like, why would I want to be in a relationship like that? Why would I want to be with somebody that I'm critiquing you so much to change so much of who you are? I don't want to be in a relationship like that, because then it feels, number one, it feels controlling, and number two, it just feels like, do I even like you for you? It's giving not happy, it's giving not satisfied. It's giving you're not the same as you used to before you got into this relationship. That's what it's giving. And I don't want to be like that. Like, that's not, I wouldn't want to see that on anybody's end, male or female. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you want to be with somebody, you want to be with somebody for them and who they are. So if you met a girl and she was a model, shit, let's just say that, and she likes to post her body on Instagram and stuff like that, that's how she was before she met you. So why would you try to change somebody? And I think that's what I don't really like, because then it's okay, like, this isn't coming out. Because then it's like, is it really is that really the person you want to be with? Because a lot of times we like to deny the fact of how we know somebody. Like, if you met somebody, why are you going out your way to change so much about them? And I could understand if there's like certain things that maybe somebody does that's detrimental. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. Maybe there's things that they do that's detrimental that you don't want them to continue doing, because you don't want them to hurt themselves or hurt other people. That's fine. But then if there's some things that they do that's just like innately in them and that's just how they are, I don't think you're doing yourself a disservice by trying to change somebody like that. I think you're hurting them and you're hurting yourself in a relationship. And I think that's another thing why people end up kind of cheating and stuff like that, because you put yourself in this relationship that you thought was gonna work or whatever, and ended up finding out that, okay, this is not gonna work, or whatever the case may be, because you thought you could change somebody, and not necessarily in a positive way. By the way, if anybody's wondering what kind of paint I'm using Craftsmate acrylic paint. I'm not using nothing crazy, and I'm just watering it down to get the watercolor effect. So if anybody was wondering, that's what I'm using. And I just feel like, when you go into a relationship, you want to be in a relationship with that person. You don't want to try to recreate a whole ass new person. Like, then is that the person you wanted to be in a relationship with? Like, don't get with somebody thinking you're just gonna change them so drastically that they're gonna be your complete ideal person. Like, that doesn't seem, that seems stressful. That seems very stressful. It's giving like some of these girls that they're like, oh, my man don't like when I used to do this, and now I don't do this because my man doesn't like it. I'm like, what? And there's certain things I could see, you know. Let me see if I can give an example. Let me see if I can give an example. I don't know. I'm trying to think, y'all. I feel like the Instagram one is what I can think about. I don't know if I have any other ones that I can think of right now. Damn. But okay. I have one. Because I had a friend I used to work with, and she got in a relationship with this guy, and I don't think they're together anymore. I don't think they're together anymore. But he used to be like, first it was the Instagram thing. First he didn't want her to have an Instagram or whatever. So that was kind of like red flag number one. And then he didn't want her to go out. And it was just like, and then another thing that he did, he went on this trip, he went out he went on a trip to a different state. And then he was ignoring her, and he wasn't responding back to her and all this shit. And I'm just like, wow. And it comes to find out he ended up just cheating on her, and I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. And this is what I'm trying to say, if I'm not making sense. Cause why, this is what I mean, why get in relationships and not and lead somebody on like that? And I feel like a lot of times people don't want to admit how they are, or accept the ways the ways that they do things. And sometimes we do things in good ways, sometimes we do things in bad ways. I feel like a lot of times people don't want to accept the fact that they do fucked up shit, you know? Or they do things that are not okay, or they do things that are complacent, or, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got the gist of what I'm trying to say. We all have things that we do that are not ideal. Or we don't all have ideal qualities. So me knowing, if I know the kind of qualities that I have, and if I know that, I'm not really a relationship kind of guy, then I don't want to really trap somebody, or have kids with this person, or thinking, and have them thinking, if I'm in a relationship with this person, it's gonna be different. Nah, you should know how the fuck you are. I'm sorry, you should know. You should know what kind of dude you are, what kind of female you are. You should know what you're ready for, what you're not ready for. X, Y, and Z. It shouldn't be this guessing game. A lot of people be like, I'm self-discovering, bitch. Motherfuckers be 45. I'm self-discovering. Come on now. We know enough about ourselves and our own habits to know what situations we should put ourselves in and we should not put ourselves in. So when it comes to relationships, if you know you don't like to be single, or you like to mingle with other people, X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? You like to have fun and all that stuff, and you don't feel like you're ready to slow down, all that stuff. If you feel the need to be in a relationship, that relationship should exclusively be open, and you should advertise what you want as such. Maybe you want a boo on the side. You want I want my boo, my main boo, and I like my side pieces. You gotta advertise yourself as such, and to find a woman that's gonna be really, or just I should say person, because I'm talking about everybody, that's gonna be into that. You know what I'm saying? Why should you surprise somebody down the line, hey, I want to do this, and when that person has already invested so much in you, come on, y'all. Yo, come on, let's use our heads, bro. Let's use our heads. let's use our noggins. But and I think that comes back to the selfish aspect, because y'all, a lot of times, and this is outside of just like relationships, when people do shit sometimes, especially grown people, they know what the fuck they're doing. They know what the fuck they're doing. Nobody's that unaware of what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? People know what the fuck they're doing. So somebody's come to you and they're saying some shit, or like, oh, I didn't realize, or I didn't know at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can know yourself enough to know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. So sometimes, like, I feel like when people set stuff up like that, they know. They already knew. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna circle back with, like, when I was talking to the guy and, I ended up stopped talking to him. I knew after, like, a few, like, let's say, like, on the second month, I started to feel it. And, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to, like, lead this person on years down the line and be like, yo, like, I don't feel the same for you. Because at a certain point, you're going to know. You're going to know. And even outside of relationships, even like how people treat us. Oh my God, like I had a situation with like with management at a job, and I'm not gonna like drag the whole situation on, because I asked my friend, I was like, should I make a video about it? Because I really want to, but like, kind of to save face, she was just like, no, just don't do it, because at the end of the day, like, you still have to work places, and it's not like I'm like YouTube famous or anything like that. So it's like, I still work. I came from work and I came to do this. But anyway, we had a disagreement about something, and the main issue was, it kind of started off like with me setting a boundary, because I was asked to do something. It was super last minute, y'all. So last minute. Because if y'all don't know, like, I work in bakeries and I do cakes. That's kind of my trade right now. And I haven't changed it to anything else. It's been my trade for years. So any job that I've had is usually in bakeries and me doing cakes and stuff like that. So we had like super late fucking order. And they were like, oh, like, it's a super easy order, X, Y, and Z. When can you come in and do it? Mind you, this was like, I was called that day for the order to be ready tomorrow for the next day. I'm like, that's super last minute. So I was like, I can come in tomorrow. I'd even say no. That's the funniest part. I'd even say no. I didn't say no, I couldn't do it. I just said, I can't come in today and do it, because I'm already home, and like my job, that it's like all the way in the city. Like, I'm not about to drive all the way to the city in the traffic, hour and a half traffic, and it was peak traffic time too. Like, I was like, no, I'm not about to be driving all the way to the city. Like, no, I don't know, I'm good, I'm home chilling. And I was like, I can come in tomorrow, and my starting time tomorrow is like after like 1 o'clock. So, if they want the order really that badly, then they could wait around 3 or 4 o'clock to get the order. Because at the end of the day, like, this is another thing, like, people that order last minute shit, especially for like their kids and close family members, stuff like that. I can understand like a coworker, you order something last minute, like, let me get something for them. You gotta change your heart. But like your kids, your mom, your dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, people that you're like, that's in your circle, your best friend, and you're like, damn, you're that last minute with an order for your kid the day before. Now you got a thought to like, yo, let me really get something special for them the day before. That's when you thought you should do that. That's why a lot of places don't entertain last minute orders. Like, no. Because like, what? Wow, you just had the epiphany to get something for your loved one? Are you fucking serious? But either way, long story short, my time was after 1, and that's when I was gonna start that day. So I don't know what happened, but I guess they thought they were gonna ask somebody else to do it, and that person didn't. I guess they told the manager the same thing. So, but I didn't get a call back, so I didn't know what happened, or like what was. I just assumed the other person did it because the manager didn't get back to me. So then the next day, y'all, I get a call from the manager, and the manager's asking me if I can read or write. So I was like, I was so upset, and I was like, damn, yo, like, what did I do? I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm gonna have to call you back because, first of all, that was out of pocket. That was not appropriate. So I was like, maybe they're really upset, something, I don't know, whatever the case may be. And the reason they were asking me that, because I didn't do an order, like, for a time that they put, but the order was really for the weekend. So it's like, it's not the weekend yet, and I'm working today. And I was actually, like, by the business, by my job. So I'm like, I'm there to do it. But I was getting food at the time. So I'm like really confused, and I was communicating with you like throughout the week about orders that we're doing. So like, why is it that you're coming for me all of a sudden? And it didn't click that it was because I said no, or I said I was gonna come in that day to do that order, and I was gonna come in tomorrow if they wanted it, because I had a boundary. Y'all, this is some shit. Because I set boundaries. You're mad because of that. And that's crazy. So I called this manager back. And I politely said, hey, this is, I don't think that was a nice thing to say. I don't think, you should be asking people if they could read or write. That's kind of, not nice. Oh, you took it that way. Yo. I was like, I took it what? I took it what? What? Okay. So, and this was like built up from like years of like being there. Because this isn't like the first issue I've ever had. But, a lot of times I was able to just let things go because at the end of the day, what I'm saying, it's not my business. And I'm like, my name is in nobody's will. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I'm in nobody's will, I'm in nobody's, in nobody's bonus pay or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just get my weekly pay and that's it. So I'm like, I just work here. But, a lot of times I let things go because I was just, number one, I don't want to, necessarily burn bridges, but I think for me, I just don't, and this is a learning experience that I really had to like go through, where when I didn't say anything, the problem just got worse. And that's kind of how I felt like even with that particular situation, I felt like with other situations that I had before with management, I always kind of let it go, and I didn't go, hey, like, that wasn't an okay thing to do. Hey, I wasn't comfortable with that. Hey, I didn't think, I never did that, and I kind of always kind of just brushed it off and like, it's whatever or stuff like that. And I was like, what, fuck that, because one thing I can tell you guys, when you allow somebody to do something to you that you did not like or you weren't comfortable with, and they're wrong for it, they'll keep doing it. All because you allowed it. And it's as simple as that. People will do as much as what you allow them. And that's a fact. That's a straight fact, bro. So I think at that point, and I just like me being because this was like recent, honestly. Me being like, I'm like 26, like I can't keep going through my life like that, letting people just talk to me however and doing whatever they feel like just because they can, and because because I'm not really a bark back person initially. Like I like to gauge people, and I tend to give people way too many chances that they deserve. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to say what I got to say right now. So whether or not I work here tomorrow or I work here next week or next month or whatever the case may be, I'm going to say what I have to say. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to allow anybody to disrespect me like that. Now I'm not saying like, you know, if you have a problem with management, curse your boss out or whatever. I'm not saying that, guys, but I'm saying we can properly address issues when they arise. And however the management decides to take that, that's on management. Because I know I was polite. I started out cool at first. So then I was like, well, you know, you're basically calling me retarded because I don't understand what you mean. I took it that way. You call me illiterate. And I'm saying I'm not okay with being called that. Don't ask me no question if I can read or write. Come at me correctly. And I even asked this, and I said, hey, if I asked so and so if this was an okay thing to say, what would have they have said? Because I was like, you know, like if you ask somebody else's, what do you think they would have said? No, you're being sensitive, and if I wanted to be disrespectful to you, I would, you know, would be the, you know, the least of what you'd be hearing. So I was like, so it just ended up being this, you know, this huge back and forth. And y'all, to this day, I don't regret what I said. I have no regrets because at the end of the day, I still work there. So I couldn't have been that wrong. I couldn't have been that wrong. But the thing is, like, when people, especially like when they're in management, a lot of times, you know, you don't really check your manager, or like most of the time people don't check management because a lot of times people are afraid to lose their boss. I mean, they're afraid to lose their jobs. They're afraid to lose their income. You know, a lot of times people are check to check. You know, people okay with being mistreated because of money. And I was like, I'm not doing that no more. Fuck that. I will not. I can't allow it. I won't allow it because money is not. Oh. As I am. Okay, so my landlord just came and so I had to like stop what I was doing. So yeah. Ooh. My pants is kind of wet because of the rain. So it's probably a different angle. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I didn't really. I have to move the door to like. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I kind of lost track of what I was saying. But okay, so I think I was saying I don't regret saying what I said because it was like a lot of years of like dealing with like bullshit over and over again and over and over again, and then me not saying anything, and I just kept being okay with it, and it felt liberating. You know what I mean? Because and I think over the years I've met like awesome people that really taught me. And this I want to make a point, like you really want to have good people in your circle that's going to really inspire you and change you for the better. Because I worked with a lot of good people. We may not work together now, or we may not talk as much, or you know, or keep in contact, but I feel like when you have really good influential people that are positive, they will change you for the better. Because I used to be somebody that I took a lot of crap from people in it, and you know, and I had a coworker and they were telling me like, no, like you don't have to take that, but you know, stand up for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like do better, don't take that, you deserve better. And I will never, like, there's, you know, people that come and go in my life, I will never forget that person because they just influenced me to really to do better for myself, you know. So when this situation happened recently, you know, and at the end of the day I was like, well, I have enough FU money. If I really wasn't gonna come back, I didn't care anymore, because I'm not gonna sit here and tolerate being mistreated. Like, no, like I'm not. No, I don't want to be mistreated. I'm good. And I don't think any of us should really have to really go through things like that. That's not fair. Why should we put ourselves through being mistreated just because of $1? of a check. No, I'm good. You know, and I understand, like, yes, some people, you know, you have to work through it and save up your money and, you know, really find a positive route to really take yourself, because not everybody have, you know, FU money, and sometimes some people have to stay in their shitty jobs. And there's always going to be somebody that's going to really be in a situation where they have to really take stuff like that and they can't really say anything, you know what I'm saying? And it's tough. I really feel for a lot of these people. And I've been in situations like that, you know. And I want to say, like, the start of my work career. And, you know, over the years, I had to really learn, like, yo, like, you need to do better. You have to do better. You have to love yourself enough to know your worth and your value and stuff like that. Like I said, like, we don't have to, especially with management and people like that, you know, you don't need to curse everybody out. And that's the way I think of it too. Like, I don't even necessarily curse anybody out. I'm good on that. Because at the end of the day, you know, it really, realistically speaking, at the end of the day, the situation doesn't have to be that deep. It doesn't. So when certain things happen, you know, I don't feel like I have to have this ongoing beef or whatever with somebody, but no, I'm gonna let you know, like, I'm not okay with that. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with saying, you cross my boundaries, please step back. There's nothing wrong with saying, I am not comfortable. There's literally nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong for speaking up for yourself. You should speak up for yourself. And don't ever not speak up for yourself when you're in a situation that you're not okay with. That's on period. Because, you know, I just don't want to keep repeating the same things over and over in my life. I just don't want to keep going through that. It'll drive you crazy, to be honest. And I feel like, and another thing about something that I was doing, I was trying to be a people pleaser. A people pleaser. People pleaser for what? I'm not getting no people pleaser money. Like, I'm good. It's like people will manipulate you and play with your feelings and all this stuff. It's like, no, like, I'm good. And I think once you kind of come to that realization, come to that epiphany, you become more, what's that word? Enlightened. And you just know what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people go through, especially with work situations, you go through things and you don't know any better. So you keep doing it because you don't know any better. And then when you finally learn, you know, and you use the tools that you learn and you apply them in real life situations, and the people start going, oh, you're different now, you're this. And I'm like, no, I'm applying what I'm learning. I'm not going to keep making the same mistakes and not learn from them. I have to keep doing better. And like I said, I don't care who anybody is. You could be Obama. You're not going to be talking crazy to me. It doesn't mean I'm going to curse you out, but I'm going to correct you and say, hey, I don't like to be spoken to like that. And if you have a problem with it, and this is why, like, it's funny, like, because people feel like when it's management, or they feel like they have a title, oh, I'm the boss, I'm this and that, they can get away with mistreating you and take away your humanity. I'm still a person. I still deserve love and respect. So please make sure you have it when you're speaking to me, and kindness. Because if I came to you with kindness and love and all this positive stuff, please return the favor. And I feel like a lot of people feel like, because they're giving you money, and sometimes you may need it, sometimes you may not, they feel like, oh, well, I'm giving you money, so I could talk to you however, I could treat you however. No. You're going to treat me with respect, because this is a transaction. A lot of people forget that. Because without workers, you ain't got no business. You know, and without bosses, we ain't got no money. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's a transactional thing. A lot of people get besides themselves and think, oh, well, I'm the boss and I think this and that. No, yes, you're the boss, sweetie. But at the end of the day, you still need us. So please treat us kindly with love and, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta know what we deserve. If that's really the point I'm trying to get, we have to know what we deserve. We can't be walking around this damn earth not knowing our worth and having people be treating us however they feel because they say that's how it is. No, that's not how it is. That's not. No, you know, there's certain times, like, you know, we could be wrong. There's plenty of times I was wrong, especially at work. I've made mistakes. I'm not saying I didn't. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. But it's how we handle those mistakes is what defines us as a person. Is you know what I'm saying? There's that saying, you know, how somebody reacts when they're under pressure that's the real person right there. That's the real them. And how you handle pressure, how you handle stress, and how you handle conflict would really it just shows what kind of person you are. So if you handle conflict calmly and you know how to defuse situations, you know, it shows that you're a positive person and you're not a negative person. Because one thing I know, like, if I had an issue with somebody, I would, if I had an issue with somebody or if somebody had an issue with me, I want to know how that person is going to handle it. Because I know if I have an issue, I'm going to say, hey, like, what's the problem? It doesn't have to be aggressive, but it should be known, like, hey, like, is there an issue? Like, you know, did I do something to you? Did you do something to me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's really going on here? Like, why is there a rift right now between us? You know, are you not comfortable working around me? You know what I'm saying? Like, how we handle conflict and how we talk to each other makes such a big difference. But I think this video has gone on a little bit too long. I'm not gonna hold you. And I'm kind of done with this painting. And I want to say it's a self-portrait, but like I don't have this much hair in my head, and my hair is like balding. So this is a fantasy at this point. This is a daydream. And I'm gonna keep feathering it out and make it look like smoke, because it looks kind of interesting. Oh shit, I dropped the water. Fuck. Looks interesting. So we're gonna feather it out a little bit more. And yeah. And this is gonna kind of be the end of the video. But you know, this is kind of just like a little rant. You know, a talk with you guys. You know, sorry my landlord interrupted. But I did warn you guys. I told you guys, you know, he was gonna come. He wanted his money. He don't play that shit. He said, "Where's my money?" And he's like, "You gotta clean up a little bit," because I have shit like everywhere, and I do need to clean up. I really do. I'm not gonna lie, I do. I've been slacking, but you know, hopefully I'll clean up. And I'll get my stuff done. So, you know, this is kind of the end of the video. I'm gonna, because I don't know what else I really want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm gonna do a hot take. I really like. Okay, so like, I'm gonna give us like if I'm gonna shout out a couple people that I really like watching. That kind of influenced me to make these kind of videos where I'm just talking. But you know, I like to do things in between. So I really like Monica Hernandez. She's a really awesome artist, and she's really inspired me. I was like, yo, y'all, I need to start painting. So she's inspired me to really like, you know, start painting again, because I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I really love painting and I like creating shit, and I'm just like, I'm not doing it as much as I used to. So she's really inspired me. Like, she really makes like these long videos. It's just her talking, y'all. It's just her talking. But she talks about a lot of stuff. She's very smart. She's very intelligent. And she just has a lot of great points, and I really love that. I love that about her. And another person I want to shout out. I've been watching him lately. He's giving weird side of YouTube. Gerbert Johnson. And he makes like dating videos about dating and, you know, men and shit like that. Kind of like manosphere type of shit. But he's so like weird side of YouTube. His videos are very weird. But I can tell he's gonna blow the fuck up, because his videos are really creative. And he's really cool. I think he's cool. Like, he just does interesting videos, like, and it's just, they're entertaining to watch, and there's something you can always take away from the video. That's what I like the most. You can always take away something from it. It's not just like a mindless video that you're watching. So he's at like 20K. Like, when I subscribed to him, he was like 8K or something, and then like one of his videos blew up. A couple of his videos was blowing up, and now he's at like 21. So he's definitely, I could see him like really blowing up. And then who else do I want to shout out? I think I'm trying to remember, like Brittany Simon. Okay, like, yeah, Brittany Simon's pretty dope. She does like philosophy stuff. She has this thing called like the levels, and it's like levels of introspection. And I just like people that, like, when I watch them, they make me think about things. You know, my brain, I feel like my brain is pumping when I watch them, and like they're challenging the way I think and things like that, and they're widening my perspective. So I like stuff like that. But I think this is done. I don't think I'm gonna add anything else to this. I think I'm gonna make the lips more red, if I can. Yeah, and I might make the nose more red too, but that's gonna be really it at this point. Yeah. But thank you guys for watching the video. I really hope you guys liked it. Let me know if you like this kind of stuff. I thought the video was too long, if you ask me, but you know, two birds, one stone. You know, free art video, me talking about bullshit. But if you guys did like the video, you know, if you want to give it a like, I'd appreciate that. If you like what I'm saying, maybe you could subscribe. You know, that would be cool too. That'd be cool. But you know, if you, what was I gonna say? Jeez, I can't talk. But I will be uploading. I'm gonna upload this week, but I'm gonna try to be more frequent with my uploads, and I'm gonna try to make more. I'm gonna try to make more detailed videos, because stuff like this is easy to make. Because this is gonna be like minimal editing. This is like a cut the start, cut the end. Like that's really what I'm gonna really do with this. Because I kind of felt like I didn't really have any like staggering thoughts that I really need to like chop up. But I'm gonna definitely make more in-depth videos. they're coming. Like I know y'all be seeing the basic stuff from me, but like I got my laptop out. I had it here. I was gonna edit a video, and then I lent my laptop to my brother to charge his phone, and then I'm like, the charger's not working properly. Either the charger or like the charging port. But then I have to like hold it a certain way. It has to be positioned a certain way to charge. So I didn't know. So I like took it home and stuff like that. But now I know not to lend nobody shit. But yeah, so definitely more videos coming on the way. I definitely have a few in the making. I have to edit them. I have a couple serious ones I'm gonna make. That I have one that I made already, and I just have to really edit it and really like fine tune it because I recorded it like at least like a gazillion times. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked the video. You know, like, comment, subscribe, da 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 da. See y'all later.